Yes, oh God. Because I'm the youngest one, so I understand. Listen, yeah, today is Tracy to offer her oral dance about her thesis. So let's begin. Right now, okay.
20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
30 minutes. Firstly, I want to say good morning to all distinguished professors and my dear friends. Thank you so much for spending time during my oral event today, and I feel so happy and so much thankful for all of your attendance today. My name is Hai. You can call me Tracy. I am currently doing the Global Master of Business Administration in Providence University, and today is my oral defense for my master thesis. The topic is integrating customer value in analysis in category management, the applications of supermarket big data. And my thesis is supervised by me, Professor Lý Trung Ren and Professor Kitty. And today's agenda, I will go to 9 points, but because of time limit, so I just focus on, I will spend more time on methodologies, research findings, and discussions. Okay, so firstly, I believe that we all go to supermarket in Taiwan, right? So let's say that one day we go to supermarket and make a purchase, and then with the membership card, and then when your purchase is already made, your data will be recorded by the supermarket. But do you know that what will the supermarket do with your data? So it can be like, for example, Professor Chen, 2 days later you got a voucher for a free coffee in PX Mart. Or maybe Professor Ruth, it's taking maybe 1 month that you got a redemption, or maybe some 50% discount for the next purchase in Carrefour. Or maybe Professor Ren, you do not get any promotion or any discount at all. So why is that? It is because actually each customer have a different value to the enterprise, and then not all customers are created equally. So that's why business should take more extra care to the high value customer segmentation. So that is but actually understanding the customer value is very, very challenging job, because the nature of customer is observed with the heterogeneity, which means that Professor Chen will be different from Professor Ruth, and also will be different from me or from other people, because you guys come from different demographic, you guys have different traits and life experience. And at the same time, even within us, we are also very dynamic, because our mood or our decision, way of making decisions will be changed in different states of life, or not even state of life, even within a day. The way we decide in the morning will be different from the day we decide in the afternoon or evening. So this makes things getting more and more complicated in understanding and analyzing the customer value. And the third challenge in this part is that nowadays in the digital world, that we are facing a lot of methods, a lot of framework and methodology to analyze the customer value. However, which method is the most suitable for our given data set? So it is a very critical question for the business. So with all of these things, it is motivate me to choose this topic to go deeper. And then my focus will be, my topic is integrating customer value into category management. So 2 categories I picked up to make more analysis is tissue and milk. My data was given, I take my data from Taiwan Institute of Marketing Science, which is training from 2009 to 2010. And with milk, I have, after the data cleaning process, finally I got more than 11,000 transactions from 826 customers in milk category, and more than 1,000 transactions from 229 customers in tissue category. With all that I mentioned before, so my research have 4 main goals. The first goal, the first objective of my research is to analyze customer value, of course, because my thesis is about customer value analysis. And then after analyzing customer value within 2 categories, milk and tissue, I will find out or try to have the enterprise identify who is the high value customer. Second objective is to compare between the behavior between the customer behavior between two categories, and also to identify that which category performs better for the supermarket. And the last objective is to the third objective is to assess between three methods which one can like better use to identify or analyze customer value. And the last one is to suggest implications for practical management in the retail sector. Okay, so is this clear? Thank you so much. And then next we will move on, very quick look at the literature review. So there are three main parts in my literature review: category management, customer value, and analyzing methods. The first one is category management. Actually, category management has been found in many forms many years ago. But traditional category management is more focused on the brand's basics. So maybe like 200 years ago, you can go to the Walmart or supermarket in USA, and then they will categorize the product more like on the brand basis. That is traditional category management. But it is not until 1989 that Dr. Brian Harris he's laid the foundation of category management. Then it's focused on the product basis rather than on the brand basis. And then nowadays, modern category management will be characterized by the data-driven and customer-centric approach. Moving on the customer value. So when I done the literature review in the customer value, I find out that there is a lot of scholars and even practitioners have worked on the customer value. And then there's a lot of definition related to customer value, but I find out the common thing between all the scholars is that they find out that customer value is the present value of all future profits generated from the customer. And that's why when we talk about the customer, we can heard something more like the heavy user or light user or brand loyal or brand switchers or low profit customer, medium profit customer, or low profit customer. This is all the way we mentioned about the customer value. And another thing I mentioned in my literature review is about the methodology or the methods or frameworks that is already applied before by the previous scholar in terms of analyzing customer value. So there is a lot of methods, but the most common one I can say is the RFM model methods. RFM refers to the recency, frequency, and monetary value. And this is introduced pretty long time ago. And in my study, I believe I mentioned another two methods that I put more work on. This is the customer activity index methods and the customer reliability index methods, which is introduced by Professor Ren and Professor Chen in this book. For the CAI methods, it is more focused on the change of customer activities. And while the CRI methods is focused on the reliability of ex-customer shopping pattern. Okay, so now let's move on the methodologies, how I calculate and how I do with the data. So this is the raw data look like. So I received this data from Professor Renz. And then there you can see there is a lot of columns. It mentions like the store, and then the customer cart ID, and this is transactions, and then this is the product that they purchased, the quantity, the price for purchase, and then the money. From all of this data, now I need to do with the data cleaning, like clean all of this data to finalize with more than 11,000 transactions for milk and more than 1,000 transactions for tissue. And my research flow will be conducted into four main steps. First step is data cleaning. Second step is dealing with the RFM analysis. So in RFM analysis, I introduce three scoring mechanisms. So the first one is Quickstone, Foxstone, and variant weighting. And after this one, I will make a comparison between three methods to find out that which one is better describe the customer value. Second, the third step is to analyze by the CAI methods, customer activity index, and the last one is customer CRI method. Okay, so this is methodology. And now we will move on closer to the how to do with each step. So firstly, for the RFM methods, like I think we all heard about the RFM methods before. So R stands for recency. So recency means like how many days from the last purchase of the customer. Like maybe like the last day I go to purchase in PX month is like 5 days ago. So my recency is 5. And then frequency is the number of days or number of purchases that I make maybe in that supermarket. So overall in the month I make around 20 purchases. So my frequency will be 20. And then monetary is average money that I spend on each transaction. Like today I make or like on average how much money I spend to purchase in that supermarket. So here we have the recency, frequency, and monetary value. Okay, so that is the basic of the RFM methods. But now in my research I introduced 3 different scoring mechanisms. So mechanism here is mean like the way to weight for this method. So we'll come up with the R score, recency score, F score, frequency score, and M score, monetary score. So with the quintile methods, the way of scoring, as you can see here, so quintile methods categorize customer into 5 equal parts that we label from 1 to 5. So 1 is those who have a low value, like they have a low recency score. You can see from this one recency, if the bigger number, which means that it takes them so long time to come back to the store. The last purchase is so long time already, so they are not so valuable to us, and they just score number 1. And then the higher one, they just make the purchase yesterday. They're very important to the business, and they will have a higher score. So the quintile scoring mechanisms will be 20, 20, 20%, like 5 equal score. After all, you got the result customer in the profile like 555 or 111 or 521 or 542, kind of that. And this is first scoring mechanism. The second way of scoring I mentioned in my research is the Bobstone. So Bobstone is also very popular method that is introduced by Bobstone. He is a marketing specialist and it's in 1995. And he gives a different way of scoring. When you give the weight for each element, like R score, F score, and M score will be calculated differently. And among this method, you need to, there is one important thing about Bobstone method that he gives a priority to the frequency element. So the frequency will get a higher weight compared to the other elements like recency or monetary. Okay, and then the last scoring mechanism is variant weighting. So variant weighting is introduced by in the book of Professor Ren, and then in this scoring mechanism is also give the weight for each element. However, they will go in more like precise way of calculating what is exactly weight for each element based in the given data set. So you can see this is one example like how to calculate the weight for R score for the recency value. So I will go into each step like this. In my writing, I will provide more details about how to calculate for R, F, and M. Okay. So after this 3 scoring mechanism, I will make a comparison with this by using dividing the data into 2 halves, like 2002, 2009, and 2010. So why I need to do this? Because I need to find out which scoring mechanism will better describe the customer value. And so in this way, the logic is like if the customer performed very well in 2009, which means that this customer also have a very good value, very high value in the 2010. So I will use the Spelman correlation coefficient to identify the ranking of these 2 customers. So for example, this is the way I use the Bobstone. Okay. So that is the methodology for the RFM. Now we have 2 more. This is the CAI and CRI. Okay, let's move on to CAI. The CAI methods, actually CAI CAI, the most important thing we need to remember about CAI is CAI determines the chance of customer activity. Like customer is more engaged to the supermarket or getting less engaged. Customer will go spending more money or will go to supermarket buy more stuff or even buy less. So this is the chance of customer activity. And in this way, I will come, my research I propose like in order to calculate the customer activity index, firstly I need to include customers who have fewer than 4 purchases, because 4 purchases like they will, if the customer make 4 purchases, which means that they only have 3 inter-purchase time. In the way I mean like inter-purchase time means the days between different purchases. For example, the first purchase I made today, and 1 week later I come back to the store and make another purchase, which means that my inter-purchase time is 7 days. And I will calculate by the maximum likelihood, like example look like this, and then weighted average purchase, and then finally we have the formula for the CAI method. So CAI method we mentioned here. If the CAI result is bigger than 0, which means that it indicates a narrow in average consumption interval, which means that if the CAI bigger than 0, this one will be bigger than this one. And then this means that customer will spend less and less time to come back to the store. If you spend less time, maybe last time you spent just 5 days to come back to the store, and the next purchase is like just 2 days or like 1 day, so you are getting actually more engaged to my business. You will going to go to buy this way, more frequent to the supermarket. And if the CAI is smaller than 0, it implies that the customer spend longer time coming back to the next purchases, or we can say that this customer is increasingly inactive customer. Okay, so that is for CAI methodology. And the last one is a way of calculating for CRI. So as I mentioned earlier, CRI to check the reliability of the customer transaction, customer shopping pattern. So the reliability here, in this way, I mean that reliability means whether they are very consistent customer, where they would go to the supermarket or buy very consistent with a very consistent or very reliable shopping pattern, or they are just customer come to buy for several times, 1 or 2 times, and they disappear and they come back. So were they reliable or unreliable? So this method was mainly used, devised by 3 important metrics. Like this GE is group estimator, DE is Bayesian estimators, and IE is the individual estimator. So I think the most important thing you need to look at this distribution. Then the gap between these things, if the gap of DE, like the Bayesian model, is very closer to IE, is closer to individual estimator, which means that this method is better describe the customer in individual transaction. However, if it's close, the gap is closer to the group estimator. It means that the estimation is more going to the group. Like, so you can decide that, okay, for a manager, you can decide, okay, which marketing strategy to go for these people, like individually or like on a group basis. And for CRI, if the CRI is bigger than 0, like the customer exhibits higher reliabilities in individual transaction data, indicating a consistent and stable consumption pattern. So we call reliable customer. And on the other hand, if the CRI is smaller than 0, so their individual transaction is not relatable, which means that the result is more focused on the group, not apply the individual transaction. So it suggests an erratic and less stable consumption pattern of the customer, or we can say customer is unreliable. And this is the way I calculate with the CRI. Okay, so this is the most important part, is this research findings. I will do it on other like tissue category, milk category, and compare between 2 categories. The first one is tissue. Let's see what I find out with the tissue. I have a method. Okay, so the tissue, we have the result of 229 customers who purchased tissue in the supermarket. during the spending time 2009 and 2010. And this is the result of the result of customer value based on 3 scoring mechanisms: Pinto, Boston, and variant weighting. You can see here, one common thing we can find out that is the first customer, A1 something like 680, the first customer, he have even within 3 different scoring mechanisms, but like he stand out as the most important customer to the supermarket. Like no matter by Pinto or Boston or variant weighting, and he's a leader, most important customer. And however, we also find out that even like maybe customer number 4, A10767760, you can see that this customer with recency is 98, okay, and the frequency is 20. He purchased 25 times, and monetary is this money, like 100 NTD for purchase. However, this customer, his rank pretty high in the Boston mechanism, and variant weighting is number 4. Number 4 is belong to the top high value customer. However, he's with the pencil method, he just ranked number 60. This means like it's a stable group, it's not more like in medium group. So you can see that with 3 different scoring mechanisms, there will be a diverse, or maybe there's a lot like, okay, there will be like a lot of difference between the weight, because the weight is calculate and measure the customer value is by the ranking. So it's very crucial for a business to find out which method or which scoring mechanism is more suitable for their data. And okay, so here this is comparison between 3 data. I use SPSS to calculate the correlations between 3 scoring mechanisms. So the results show 2 things extremely point. The first thing is its own positive result. It means that customer, these 3 methods can pretty like okay in a way of describing the customer value from 2009 to 2010. However, Boston scoring mechanism with the results stand at 0.394. So you can see here with the ranking of the spend and correlation is a moderate relationship. So even with these 3 methods, they are own positive relationship, but Boston stand out and outperform the other 2 methods in terms of capturing the customer value. Okay, that is the result for the tissue. RFM. Okay, now we move on the CAI, Customer Activity Index. So again, Customer Activity Index is to depict the trend of customer, whether they are getting more engaged or they are to the business, or they getting less engaged to the business. So the results show here. Actually, for the tissue, because I need to exclude all the customers who have less than 4 times purchases. So the results show up is now it's just only 4 customers left. And then this is the CAI result of this customer. You can see this is ranging from the negative 51 to positive 36, and the median of this is negative 0.12. So this is the median. The median is a negative number. It means that more customer is inactive compared to customers who are active in this group in the tissue category. And in order to analyze more in deeper level, I use the 80-20 principle. So 80% of customer revenue is generated by 20% of this customer. So the top significant customer for the tissue category is this 20%. And then these are people who have the CAI value is greater than 9.97. So one example is here. You can see an example. This customer have the CAI value rank stand at 10 point more than 10. So this is their shopping pattern from the first purchase to the 60 purchase for the purchase number 60. Okay, you can see that the inter purchase time of this customer is getting smaller. like it takes them smaller time to go in. And then on the other hand, you can see this customer, like this is CAI is negative number. This is inactive customer and go into this group for sure. And then this customer, the shopping pattern of this, like interpreter time is getting longer. Okay. But I don't want to just focus only on CAI alone to classify customer. I think it's too subjective. So I use another way, like integrating the CAI with the RFM method to make the segmentation of the customer. In this way, I use CAI with the frequency value, because I believe that if the customer spend more, purchases or go to the supermarket more time, they are tendently or they are likely to be a more valuable customer. So here is the here is a segmentation by the two elements. I can mention here is a cutting point. So with this one, I classify customer into 4 different groups. So for first group is the active loyal customer. Active loyal customer is those who have more than 8 times purchases at the supermarket, and they also have the CAI value is greater than 10%. So this group of customers for choose a business is the most important customer because they are active, they are very loyal to the business. They buy a lot. They buy a lot of tissue at the supermarket, and at the same time, their tendency is like they coming to buy more and more in a shorter time. So the most important, and then the strategy for this customer, this group, you maybe try to make more value of this one by maybe doing the cross-selling or upselling for this group of customer. But should you do more promotion for them? You can really depend, because maybe because no matter what, they still spend money and they're still going to buy your supermarket. Okay, the second group is active potential customer. Active potential customer. This group account for 14% of the total customer base, and then this is the second highest. I can say that it's the second highest customer value because they actually do not buy so many times, but their tendency is like they are getting more and more active to the business. So we can really see like there is a high potential that this customer will buy more in the future. And then the strategy is for this customer like to increase them, to encourage them buy more. Is like you can give more promotion discount or voucher or percent off to make them buy more in the supermarket. The first group is very happy group. This is the elective customer. They don't buy a lot and they seems like they are losing. Like they are leaving the business. And this group, unfortunately for the tissue category, they account for a very big portion. It's like more than 41%. And this is very alerting things for the category management of the tissue, because there are more people tend to leave it. And for this customer, you really need to do maybe some investigate more why they are leaving to understand the situation. And the last group is inactive heavy users customer. So this group is also contribute for a pretty a lot of percent, like 39%. This is third highest value for the customer. And then they are initially loyal, but the inter-purchase time is getting longer. And then they pose a potential risk for the business in losing them in the future, because they used to be very active, they used to buy a lot, but actually now they tend to like moving or take a longer time to come back for the next purchases. So for this customer, I suggest that the strategy for the business is that you can do some individual outreach, maybe like you can have some interview or survey to identify what's the problem with this customer, why they are leaving, why they initially very active and now they are leaving, to identify the real problems to improve the category performance. Okay, so that is for CAI. Now we move to CRI. Okay, CRI, Customer Reliability Index. So again, this is the result of this customer. But I need to mention that for the tissue category, for the CRI, we don't need to delete the customer who have less than 4 times of purchase, because the CAI is more focused on the monetary value. Okay, and CLI here, the range of it, the results show that the range is from -4 to 5, like from unreliable customer and reliable customer. The median is a positive number, like 0.35. You can see. So for the tissue, it's at least it has a good thing. It's like tissue category, there are more reliable customer compared to unreliable customer. And then if this is by individuals, okay, for individual customer. But if you want to go in the group, so I also make some like empirical result by groups. Here, like I divide the customer into 8 groups by the RFM result, and then you can see that like in this one, the group number 8. Group number 8 is those who have high frequency, high monetary, high recency, and this group seems like it have the highest CAI value, and they are group of the potential, very valuable customer. And similarly, I also do the integration between CRI with the RFM value. But for the RFM, instead of choosing the frequency, I choose another value, is monetary value. So monetary value, after this integration, I have the customer segmentation like this. And then we divide into big spender. The first and most important customer segments for the business is big spender and reliable customer. This is the way I name it. Like they spend a lot of money for the business. They spend each time they go to buy the tissue, they spend a lot of like more than 1,000. And then they show a very reliable shopping pattern. And then the next one is small spender but reliable. And also we have small spender and unreliable. This is actually the group that they don't spend a lot of money on purchasing tissue, and their shopping pattern is very like fluctuate. They come to buy 1 time or 2 times and then they disappear. And this group is a big spender, a very unreliable customer. Okay, and I use a cutting point, which is a C. This column, this axis is a CRI, and it's cutting by 0.35. It's a median, and then this axis is the monetary value, and it's cutting by this number, like 152. So if customer who have more than 152 NCD per time of purchase tissue in supermarket, they are considered as a big spender customer. Okay, now that is all for tissue.
So that's it. 那我就说这样就可以了吧？那这样就可以不再讲了吧？
And for the milk, because I was
Don't spread, just show the result.
Okay. So for milk, this is the result for the milk. I am the result 826 customer. And similarly, we see the first customer is important. Okay, the first one. And also there is difference between 3 scoring mechanism. Okay. Correlation result or compare between 3 methods. We also find out that both story is the most important one. And the thing is like this 3 results is like just a little bit different. Like just a small number different, and it's all bigger than 0.5. It shows very strong relationship. But both story is still outperform for the milk category. And for CAI result again, but this is the after excluding customer, then we have more than 500 customer left, and the range is from -70 to this one and median. Okay, so this group 20% is an increasingly active customer for the tissue, for the milk category, and you can see this is their shopping for the active customer. This is their pattern. One example is one. And this is the integration between CAI and frequency. So also for group
Next.
people,
Next.
We can skip that.
Okay.
For the same method.
Okay. And this is the CAI result, customer reliability index, and also this group is the unreliable customer.
Okay.
Okay. And segmentation. So 4 different segmentation. I give some like strategy for each segmentation spot. Okay, and then this is a cutting point. Alright, this is just example like for the for like I mentioned about this group because this group include like very big portion like they are big spender but unreliable customer and shopping pattern. So this is one example for a customer. So this customer you can see make a lot of purchase very frequent time. And for tissue, you know like for tissue we buy in the supermarket it's just 100 more than 100 for a packet of tissue, right? But he spend every time more than 2,000, 900, 1,000, 2,000. He is really a big spender, and he's have the tendency to stock the tissue, for example, or for big or buy for a big family.
Not a wholesale like the Costco. Is
我说他可能是经营早餐店，所以他很多
他会去 supermarket 买，他会去 Costco 买。
哦，那他们来
他的this is the supermarket.
This is supermarket, yes.
Not a wholesale.
So from my interpretation, I think that maybe this customer he is like could be the owner of the milk tea shop. So he bought a lot of this thing to do the milk tea or like for a commercial purpose. So this is so you can see for this customer, he will for sure like will go to buy this kind of product. This product, not the small size. He will spend money on big size product. Okay. And okay, for category. Okay, comparison between category. So firstly about its nature, you will see it very clearly that tissue and milk are so different. It's very easy to stock tissue. You can throw it everywhere. For the supermarket, you can always find it in very corner of the supermarket, right? But for the milk, okay, it spend more facility. The supermarket needs to spend more money on milk category, and then like for example, refrigerator, fridge, or the cold system, blah blah blah, to have milk. So for this reason, I also can say that I estimate that the profit that the supermarket generates from the tissue will be higher from the milk, and also the milk is actually the store traffic driving. Okay, and comparison between two. Firstly, by the RFM, one thing we can say that the RFM between tissue and milk category, customer in milk have the shorter inter-purchase time compared to tissue. Like because the nature of the product, they cannot keep it for so long. They just can come buy a little, buy and then come back very frequent. And also for the milk, this group of customers spend for more bigger portion of customer compared to the tissue, which is the very good side. That you have this supermarket have more customer in milk than tissue. Okay, by CAI method. Okay, by CAI method, you can see that these two customer, these two category, tissue and milk, this is active customer and inactive customer. So the odds ratio, I mean the odds ratio is like the performance indicator for this category. We can see that the tissue have more inactive customer than milk. Milk have 53% of active customer than inactive customer. So the odds ratio is like 1. If the odds ratio is greater than 1, here is like the result is 1.13. It means that it's likely to have more than 1.13 times of active customer compared to inactive customer. Okay, so this is a good sign that the milk doing pretty good performance. And by CAI result, the result also show that tissue and milk. The good thing is like they have a very high result on odds ratio, like more than almost 4. So these two category observe more reliable customer compared to unreliable customer. Okay, and then overall, this is all my finding for this research, and I would like to bring more and a little bit about discussion for this one. Firstly, as the result mentioned, we have
better talk.
啊，什么东西？对不起，我没跟上。
要不
啊，什么？
要结束了吗？
可以啊，结束啊。
Okay.
OK。
Okay, so some implications.
She got a lot to say. So,
Because my thesis is really, really long.
Yeah, that's your show time, so yeah.
Could I maybe spend around 3 more minutes? I will wrap it up very quickly.
Okay.
Okay, 3 more minutes. First discussion. We say that, okay, the results show that Boston is,
You have time.
Boston is a
It's over 30 minutes.
outperform category. However, in the real practice, we suggest that like, the variant weightings will be excel compared to Boston because variant weighting like, is more precise in the way of calculation. And every time you have to update the data from the customer, you always can have the real-time recalculation. So, okay. The second one is a CAI perform better than the RFM because RFM just show the customer value, snapshot customer value, but CAI have the power in predicting customer chance or predicting customer behavior for in the future. Okay. Third one is no matter which methods you need to do, you need to the top Chinese customer is the most important one. And the last, okay, discussion and then implications. So overall, what does my research contribute to the real practice? So some contribution, some implication for the practical management is that like CAI. Okay, firstly, no matter CAI or FM or CRI, business shouldn't just solely depend on only one method. They need to integrate many methods together to have a more comprehensive result. Secondly, business should, for each customer segmentation, they need to more focus. They need to tailor their marketing strategy, not just one fit all. So and also, they better spend more time to extend the relationship with existing customer, rather than spend money to chasing those who are about to leave. And the third implication is that from my research, like customer in the real business, the manager really can set the alert threshold for the alert thresholds that anytime the customer will be like drop below that threshold, so they will give the warning system for the customer that okay, you are in the threat of losing this customer. And the last one is for a supermarket or for retail, you need to define the most important or most high performing category to improve the overall performance of the supermarket. Okay, and yeah, that is for my research. And then it has some limitation for sure, and then also suggest some further study, but you can skip it. And I would like to spend this time. This is very long, I can say, because there are so many parts I can think I cannot skip on. But if you skip on, it's like no point for making people understand. But I would like to thank you so much for listening and being so patient for my presentation today. And I would like to take the chance to give a very great, my deepest appreciation to my main professor, is Professor Chen. I would like to thank you because Professor Chen is very patient with me. There is so many things I don't understand. He's so patient and he's so kind, and thank you so much for driving all the way from Taipei to Taichung for my day. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for Professor Kitty, who is my collaborator. I really remember that the day I was in Germany and I was like, Professor, please help me. I need the co-advisor right now. So Professor Kitty was so kind. Oh, don't worry, I will help you to enjoy the time in Germany. So, and also thank you so much for arranging my our event today. And I would like to say thank you, Professor Chen. Like, I read your book, and it's good. And and I can learn, and I cannot finish my thesis without that book. And also thank you for going all the way from Jinan University to be in Taichung. And lastly, I would like to thank you, Professor Bruce, because at the last moment you accept to be my committee member, and And yes, so and thank you so much for friends who come to help me and support me today. Thank you. That is
Okay,
my
you can start.
start.
Rush, ask questions first.
Okay, first of all, very sorry. Actually, I was a little bit late. Maybe the first hour I had my class, today's class.
No problem. That's your punishment.
Okay. So we have 4 objectives, right?
Yes.
So which one is your most prominent objective?
My most prominent objective is the first one, analyzing the customer value in these 2 categories and find out who is the most important group of customers.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So your focus is not on methods, because you have integrated 3 approaches.
Yes.
And I'm asking you this question because the data you used was from 2010, which is
Yes.
technically outdated. So, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have research implication. You know,
Yeah.
if you, for example, if you compare historical data, then it is very very useful data. Also, you can say that maybe your focus is on research methods,
Yes.
integrating 3 methods.
Yes.
Then you can justify, probably justify, the data from 2010 is sensible. But if you just say that, okay, objective number 1, then somebody can say that, see, this is,
Well, I understand that part. You can say that the data is a little bit outdated, but to me, the reason why I want to choose this topic is because the reason why I choose this is the first objective is because I want to make it as a practical, a practical learning, practical way of understanding the data. And actually, even the data is outdated, but this method is still powerful and still empowered in the way of calculating customer value.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If your focus is on methods, then it makes sense. But you're not saying that.
You say that you
Talk too much about data, not the method itself.
okay, I understand this point.
Okay, and second thing, if that is true, because if you say that your focus is on customer value, then I can say that, see, very sorry, the data is from 2010, especially after COVID-19, the consumer trends have changed, so implications may not make sense.
Okay.
Because social situations change a lot, consumer behavior, customer behavior change.
Yeah, it's
So,
true.
especially if you talk about CAI, and then these factors are very important, because social changes are there. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but what I'm saying is if you say that your focus is on integration of 3 methods,
Okay.
so that you can have theoretical and practical implications, then it makes sense.
Yeah,
That's what I think. I'm just trying to help you. I'm not
Yeah,
trying to
that's
criticize
right.
you. I'm just trying to say my perspective. And if so, you have to provide some literature review on because your current motivation doesn't talk much about how it will create value for the research if you integrate 3 methods. You have provided some discussion, but there is no clear reason why 3 methods are integrated. Yeah. This is one thing. Second thing is that you have to then you compare milk and tissue products.
Yes.
And there is no clear rationale why you choose milk, why not chocolate.
Because the data set is among that I have the milk with the data set, and actually because the milk and tissue are so distinct category.
Fine. Provide some rationale so that to convince readers that okay, these are objects we chose based on something, and provide some citations. I think this picture is copied from somewhere. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So provide some source because
Okay.
we cannot just copy and paste.
I see.
Yeah. Some references are missing in the bibliography. For example, this one, Kumar et al. 2018 is not there.
Is missing?
Yeah, and some references are not complete actually. You can see, for example, this one, Joseph 1996. Yeah, and some references are inconsistent in the sense you see the volume and issue here and here is differently written.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in a weird format.
Yeah, we need a standard, consistent
Yeah,
format.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't really pay a lot of
No, it's
attention
fine.
to the reference so far. Okay, I will do it and refine it later.
Yeah, it's fine. And my last comment point is that if you also some citations here, I just wanted to show you.
Yes.
So this is maybe, yeah, you can check
It's
that.
like go with the APA format, right?
Yeah, practically. So, like check with library, I think they have some rules and regulations.
Oh,
And-
yes.
And in chapter 3 and chapter 4 actually are very, very interesting. If your focus is on research methods, you have to provide lots of citations. And it seems to me that many text is not cited actually in chapter 3 and 4. And I don't want people to blame you, like say that, oh, like this is from ChatGPT, you know. So to avoid that criticism, please provide citations.
This part I can say that it's pretty hard because all of this one I was more focused on the book that I read. So for CRI method is actually a framework that we introduced by Professor René and Professor Chen. So for they spend a lot of their research on from previous one, but I also spend a lot of time to search for the CRI method. There is not so many paper or
That's my fault. I didn't publish paper related to that. My
So
fault.
that's why I need to
Really?
Okay, that is, okay, in that case, actually, in here, in page 6, you mentioned that while the RFM model has received considerable attention in previous research,
Yes.
there has been a notable limit of studies, so which means there are some studies.
RFM is yes, RFM is a lot of studies and citation for RFM. Just two
I mean to say, you mentioned that there has been a notable limit of studies focusing on integration of RFM, CAI, and CRI method.
Yes, like
So you are saying that there are some studies, a few number of studies.
there is some studies, some students studying in Taiwan. They do the integration between RFM and CAI.
Yeah.
But
So-
I don't really find some who have.
So what I'm saying is like, if you have chance, you can try to provide some citations.
Oh.
And in the end, you can compare your findings with previous research. Because maybe there are some studies only use RFM, and you can compare, because your discussion section, you haven't compared your results with the previous research. So therefore I think, but still, like, you talk to your advisors and make that decision. I just wanted to help you with a few things, nothing like criticizing.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rush.
Thank you.
So you're good. Criticism. Yeah, first of all, you have done a lot of work on that, so I need to give you a very big compliment about that. And second of all, you are a very good teacher. Do you think about to study in PhD program and become a professor? I saw
Are you trying to recruit her?
because you said I was definitely not, because we have no PhD program in my department, but I think you are good. You have good talent in this study, so maybe we can consider that. And the third, talk about your thesis. Because your topic includes two elements. One is category management. Second is customer value. Right now, I only see customer value model, not about category management too much. And the only thing is the final part, comparison of the two categories is kind of related to category management. So I want to recommend you not to use category management in your topic. Just use customer value analysis and use the two categories as examples to explain the model. It's good enough. Because the only difference between the two categories is only related to the product property. Like milk is perishable and tissue is imperishable. So you say they have different inter-purchase time. Right. Only that is a big difference, and others I don't see any difference. And you didn't talk about the competition situation in this category. You also didn't mention how to purchase products. I mean, for a supermarket, if it wants to manage a category, it's related to what time to purchase the inventory, and you know how to put a marketing strategy on this category. You didn't mention that at all. You only mentioned the person itself. Only if you can aggregate all customers' behavior into some marketing strategy about this category, then I can say your business is related to that. Otherwise, I don't think there is a strategy about category. That's the first thing I want to suggest. And second is I don't know the diagram related to CRI and the monetary value. There's a
CRI.
Yeah, this one. No, sorry, CRI and monetary value. Yeah, and CRI is from CRI also comes from monetary, right?
Yes.
And also monetary. So I don't know the meaning of the two. Why you put like two independent variables in this diagram?
If you integrate it with the CIFM value, you cannot. Okay.
CI also comes from
Derived from the monetary
Right.
between individuals and group.
right.
But CI is like a computation from like the relationship between the groups, the group estimator and then the individual estimator. However, monetary is like this is more like individual.
So what do you mean reliable customers and reliable customers?
Reliable customers mean they show the very stable shopping pattern.
How come? What kind of behavior is you say stable?
So reliable, I can interpret in two ways. The first thing is like it shows that they have a very consistent shopping pattern. Like they will come to buy and actually they spend money, and then the money they spend is a lot. The second one is like reliable means the result divided from the CII is this result is close to the individual's estimator rather than the group estimator. So it's more they pick the customer transaction by individual transaction, not by the group.
I think there are two factors about the stable. One is like you say variance. The second is the frequency. Usually frequency, lower frequency means unreliable. So maybe you can compare this diagram to use frequency and monetary. To draw another diagram, compare if there is a big difference. I don't think they would have difference.
So even that is rather than the monetary, I should use this with the frequency.
Yeah, because more frequency means more reliable or more stable. No, you can say.
I am not so sure about this one. So maybe this is where I can consult with my main professor. Professor, help!
CRI more focusing on the spending patterns, not the label. The monetary here means the label, how much you spend, alright? And the CRI is your spending patterns. Okay, is it reliable, consistent or not? Okay, regardless how much the level of the monetary value. Okay, so put these two together, we can see not only consistent and the high value, high monetary value, the level.
So why don't you use the mean and the variance? Mean and the variance of money.
But when you compare the group mean versus the individual mean, okay, using the Beijing schema, they are only considered the variance of the group versus the individual.
If I say more, you will beat me, so I say more. Okay, no problem. understand that when she says, so this is talking about the methods or the marketing stuff, is here I can see you learn a lot and then explain about it's a very good method that can tell me about the group and each segment. But somehow I like to know for this segment about those characteristics of this group, so I know how to do it. But now I can only see those people, but I have no idea who they are and what they like. Do you have more data about those individual customers for
Yes.
about their age, demographic data?
Yes, yes, it is.
Oh, so that's okay.
This is just a
So
method.
that's very okay, no problem, because that's a way can help us to develop the marketing strategy for that group, and it's very okay. Here's one more question is because for each group, and then for the company, they have to check those, I think do the calculation
Yeah.
regularly to check to see if the customer had moved to different group. So, what's the, should be monthly check or, I have no idea what that, so, or to check the data. Because, now you find those customers, but for customers, that's a little dynamic, right? They change their behavior from time to time.
Yeah.
So maybe now this time they're in the group 6, but they are based on the strategy or somehow promotion. They kind of moving to other groups. So we need to check, right, for those customers.
Periodically,
Yeah, and
every
so,
month or, yeah.
yeah, so I tell you, I have not, just like to know, it's a recommendation for the company that about according to different products or,
Yeah.
and what's the
She used the
suggested?
CAI index.
Index, oh,
Yeah.
so that's should be right.
Yeah.
表一款是个人嘛。
Yeah. That is kind of long way to check all the data.
Actually, we,
Or that's just one new
I did.
customer.
I
Yeah.
did some consultant for the,
Oh, it's just one more.
so they apply these methods, to their credit card members.
So it's one time.
Yeah, and then they will do it every month.
Oh, okay.
So everybody will change their status.
Mhm.
Okay, so, for the company, in reality, they will use the quarter as a base, but they update the data every month. Okay, not every day, no need to every day, okay, so every month. Every month and 3 months later, quarter for the next quarter, they will pick up. Depends on what kind of marketing program you want like to perform, and they will pick up the name list from the group.
That's very good, yeah.
And those group are updated monthly and quarterly.
Okay, thank you so much.
Right.
That means, yes.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I'm really proud of you. You did a very good job. Okay. Raj said, well, you need to sign. If you want to sample, let me tell you, I think I have more than 30 or 40 students, but
Master thesis.
similar status.
My God.
Oh.
For all the different kinds of data
This is
sets.
Taiwan University.
But to me, for the MBA students, write a very practical thesis is my goal, okay, my object. First of all, response to the Professor Chen question about the category management. At the beginning, I told Tracy, I said, okay, let's see the category management because in the retail marketing, one of the major topics is the category management. But if you look at the category management literature, all right, or we can say it's almost no academic literature on category management. It is a very practical topics. So in academic, people almost didn't talk about just a few. But in practice, how category managers perform their job, okay? Typically, in my experience, okay, they only look at the cost, okay? And do some in-store promotion, okay? Hand out a coupon, put a poster, those kind of things. And there's no any insight in consumer purchase behavior for each category. Okay, so that's why I said, well, let's try to combine these two. Okay, we are very strong in consumer behavior, right? So why don't we look at the customer value and apply to the category management? Okay, that's why I asked her to must pick up two products. So, and do the comparison, okay, and we can see, okay, as we all know, these two categories, one is, the turnover rate is quite different, but, if you look at the I think, this one, yeah, this one, okay, yeah, and you see the structure, okay? So for these two category, if the general manager of the supermarket want to evaluate the performance of the category manager, for example, here is the teacher versus the milk, whose performance is better? Okay, you can use that as an indicator to evaluate the managers. Okay. So that is why we try to look at the category management, incorporate into the consumer behavior, values in this stuff. Okay. Second answer to the Kitty, we have the group, okay, and you say if there is a customer's demographic variability, yes, we do have, but the quality of the customer demographic data is horrible. Okay, the quality is very, very bad because most of people, when they fill out the membership card, we don't know it's especially for this kind of a data set, is a supermarket. So we all know that member represents the household. It's not individual. If we have the data from the CVS, like the Chenjia, Family Mart, or the 7-Eleven, and then we can for sure those members is for the individual. Okay, nobody go to the 7 or the Family Mart will purchase for the whole family. But in this case, okay, most of the transaction data we see that the property is representing the whole family, not just individuals. So if you use the individual's demographic variable to describe, it will be misleading a lot. Okay, so in my experience, I would say don't use that. Okay, and not just in Taiwan, in the U.S., almost all the supermarkets they don't use the demographic variable anymore. Okay, it just will misleading the result. Okay. Last thing is about this picture. Okay, this graph. Okay. Why is it so tall and the other tissue is so short?
It's because the root, this one, milk have more customer than tissue. This is by the actual
Yes.
portion.
Okay. in your, this is you write on the percentage, right?
Yes.
57.5
Yes.
versus,
For the two. Inactive this
Yeah.
color is 57.5 and this is 42.5. Tissue
okay.
and this is similar
Yeah,
to.
but they all add up 100%.
Yes, totally 100%.
So don't let us guess. Especially in your, you didn't put the measurements in the y-axis. Now you have it here.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would suggest you put a number here.
You mean the number
So
of
for the
passages?
tissue, you only have a 130
Yes.
samples,
Yes.
right? For the milk, there's a 617. That is why you got a different.
Yes.
Okay. But the ratios, what you want to. So the purpose of this picture, you want to present is the structure, right?
Yes.
57.5 versus 47,
Yes.
right? So I think either you put 100
Equally.
equally, and then see the one is let me see.
There is a little
57. Yeah. So for the tissue, the blue label, blue color will be more than the milk, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Then you will see the difference. Okay.
I can adjust about that part. But actually, it will be easier if you just make the chart equally. Is this part
Yeah.
make a little bit more
You
effort
cannot
to
compare.
this one? But this one I want to mention that okay,
So,
you
so
can
the
see.
number of the sample is not important here. This is just a sample.
So I can adjust the part to
Okay.
be more like
Yeah.
structure.
So you only got the two categories. Can you get other categories? No, I just because you say CAI is only an indicator to evaluate the performance. The other metrics, BCG, use the market share and the market growth to evaluate each product or each, I don't know, their performance. But right now, if you only have the two categories, you cannot compare. If you have a lot of categories or a lot of brands, you can use BCG model to compare each performance and compare that to CAI, maybe more meaningful.
But
BCG.
don't forget, the BCG model didn't talk about any consumer value or customer value or customer behavior.
It's an aggregate data, I know.
Yeah, it's
It's also aggregate data.
No.
CAI also.
If you see the CAI is individual.
But you
We can
use
get a-
aggregate indicator to evaluate that.
Well, it's just we want to summarize all the things together.
Yes, because it's category, so you need to
But
summarize.
if you want to, like I said,
That's
for the bank, okay, when they manage their
That's-
credit card members.
I know, that's customer relationship management, that's the part. The two different issues, topics, category management and CRM
Yeah.
are the two different.
But, well, it's the same, it's for the tissues category manager or versus the milk manager. What should they do? How do they design their marketing activity?
That's only related to the definition of CM. Okay, that's all. So right now we need to, all students leave this room and
Yes.
put down.